Mr. Tefa joining me. I don't know exactly your location where you're joining me from, but maybe you can
Okay,
let
at the
us
moment,
know.
I am in Boko, local government area of Benue State.
Okay, you're joining us live from Benue.
Yes, from Benue.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kefa. We're
You're
talking
welcome.
about the 2023 elections. We're talking about ensuring issue-based campaigns, and I'd like to know from you, what are the issues in this 2023 elections as the campaigns begins in 24 hours, okay, 48 hours from now? What are the issues you feel the parties should be looking at?
Very much for inviting me on the program. A lot of things have happened and are still happening in our economy, in the security, in education, and in other sectors that make our very existence possible. The issues that candidates need to be focused on are very sensitive. We have the issue of insecurity. In fact, that is the most important issue that the candidates should be looking at. They need to explore strategies of tackling insecurity. The present administration, the present APC administration, have taken some steps towards the insecurity in Nigeria. Unfortunately, more needs to be done. That is, what has been done is not as much as expected by Nigerians. And the government needs to step up its strategies in tackling insecurity, because insecurity is what affects development. When there is insecurity, there will be no foreign investors, there will be no growth in any aspect, there will be a lot of things that will make people to live in fear. And when there is perpetual fear in any environment, it will hamper the ability of people to make progress and to actually be innovative in a violent society. The kidnapping, the banditry, the Hazeman attack, and a lot of killings that have been going on have been issues that have affected even foreign investors. So candidates, we have to give the electorate strategies of how they will tackle this insecurity. What are the measures that will be handled in solving the insecurity situation in Nigeria? And then looking at the economy, what steps would be taken to make the economy to be vibrant? Issue-based campaign requires giving the electorate reasons why they should support a particular candidate. Selling a candidate out means that you need to give the electorate your roadmap, that is your blueprint on how you expect things to be done in particular areas. There should be a clear cut, there should be a defined way of how these things will be tackled. It shouldn't be a generalized solution. There should be breakdown steps. What steps will be taken in revitalizing the economy? The macro and micro economy, what steps will be taken? The candidates should be able to tell us. They should be able to tell the electorate that these are the steps that we would take. These are the measures that would be taken. And these would be the expected or anticipated results. Because a lot of things have happened that candidates are more, electorates are more enlightened. So issue-based campaigns will be what will motivate voters or electorates to vote for various candidates in all the parties.
We talk about equal opportunity when it comes to broadcasting. You see, they say give everyone equal transmission, give everyone equal this, equal that. How do we ensure equal transmission when you and I know that most of these stations run on diesel and petrol and all the rest of them? How do they pay their bills and still give people equal transmission? Is that possible?
Okay, thank you. Um, the issue of equal transmission, we have government-owned broadcasting stations and private-owned stations in this regard. And the way these stations operate, although they have the code of conduct or broadcasting code that is generally used, but the the private stations at times may actually have a way of doing these things so that they would maximize their profit. So, irrespective of who might want to be aired on a program or might need the station to help cover its political campaigns or other activities, politically related, they will be willing to do that, but with a cost because they are business oriented. We have various private radio and television stations. Then, when it comes to government owned, they also have a way of operation. Now, having so many candidates contesting for various positions, it will be extremely difficult to give equal time to the broadcasting, to these candidates for their programs to be transmitted, for their political campaigns or political activities to be transmitted. But the most important thing is that uh, broadcasting stations need to ensure that they follow the broadcasting code of ethics. They make sure that the activities of political of candidates do not violate the code, such as hate speeches, insults, and statements that could bring religious crisis. It is the responsibility of these stations to know what to transmit, especially for recorded programs. Before transmission, they can be edited before being aired. Then for live programs, they would synthesize the candidates on what not to say that will trigger crisis, because there are some kind of speeches that can bring problem. So the media houses have this responsibility to ensure that they do not incite violence by allowing candidates to say things that would aggravate the already fragile peace that the country has at the moment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tefa. I will be
Issue in relation to what they have said is that electorate, this coming election, how they view candidates is different from how they viewed in the past. People are more enlightened. People are more conscious of the pains, the sufferings, and so much more that have happened to them, to us, and to everything that is going on. Now, the issue here is that Atiku is a northerner and Tinubu is a southerner, and a southwestern person, Peter Obi, a southeastern person, and Atiku, a northwestern man. Now, the issue that has been pressing is the next president supposed to come from the north or from the south? Even among the northerners, who will become the next president is already divided. Who will become the next president is already, because a lot of northerners are looking at it that since Buhari is from the north, the next president should come from the south, either southeast or southwest, irrespective of the geopolitical zone in the south. Atiku has a slim chance of winning the election based on the fact that he is a northerner, and most northerners are looking at it that it will be better, for fairness to be exhibited here. So let the southerner emerge as the president come 2023. That is why most of the northern elites are behind either Tinubu or Obi. And now looking at the Muslim ticket, people have been talking about that Tinubu is a Muslim and Shetima is a Muslim, so it's a Muslim ticket. But a lot of electorates have understood the situation on ground, that Tinubu being a Muslim doesn't mean that he is a kind of he's a kind of a person that would discriminate against Christians. He is a Southern Muslim. The wife is a pastor, and the children belongs to either religion. And Tinubu has groomed up people who are Christians as well. One of the examples is the vice president, Prof. Yemi Osinbajo. He is a non-discriminatory person. Even if he becomes the president, he will treat Christians fairly. To me, I don't see anything wrong in Tinubu being a Muslim, because Southern Muslims and Northern Muslims, when they meet together in leadership, you will see how the impact is being made. So I think it is to balance the equation, because Tinubu is a minority Southern Muslim, and it would be wrong for him to pick a minority Northern Christians. So the chances of APC winning the election for that would be very slim. Being a minority Muslim Southerner.
This point, can I come in here? What do you mean by a minority Muslim from the south and minority Christian from the north? So I don't really understand. Can you share more light on that?
Okay, yes. Sharing more light on that is that in the southwest, as we see, or in the southern Nigeria entirely, let us say southern Nigeria, Tinubu being a Muslim, if you take the southern Nigeria entirely, Christians are more than Muslims in southern Nigeria. That is talking about southeast, south, and southwest. Then if you take the north, northeast, north central, and northwest, if you take it all, you will discover that Muslims are more than Christians in the north. Now, Tinubu being a Muslim from the south is a minority, because in the south, Muslims are minority, while in the north, Christians are minority. Okay, so if Tinubu is coming from the south,
if I may get you clearly, are you saying that if Tinubu has picked a Christian from the north would not have voted Tinubu because the vice is a Christian? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, that is just the truth. If Tinubu had, that is the political permutation. Let's tell ourselves the truth. If Tinubu had picked a Christian, a northern Christian, then invariably he would have been on the losing end, because the northern Muslim, as far as politics in Nigeria is concerned, the equation of politics in Nigeria cannot be balanced without northern Muslim. Let's not just be. Let us tell ourselves the truth about the political scenario in Nigeria. The North must be inculcated in the political setting of Nigeria if one wants to win an election.
So you are telling us that a Christian cannot do this for them? Does that not further prove to the fact that it's more of a religious campaign that of the numbers? Because if you say that the northern Muslims will not vote for a Christian deputy or vice. You're actually playing religion, but here we talk about competency. So how does this correlate with the argument?
Well, the issue is when people talk about competence, they also relate it with religion, with ethnicity, with zoning. As far as Nigeria is concerned, uh, we may pretend that, well, these things do not matter, but they actually do. They actually do. As far as politics in Nigeria is concerned, you cannot remove certain indices out of the political situation in Nigeria. So Tinubu understands the politics of Nigeria. As far as Nigeria is concerned, you cannot win elections without the North. It is the North determines who becomes the next president. That is a sad reality to many. That is how it has been. So
Okay.
Tinubu
Thank
knows
you
that.
very
That is
much. I'm
why he's
going back to Praise God Frederick Oboa right now. Praise God Frederick Oboa, you heard Tefa very loud and clear that this is a game of number. We all know politics is a game of number. And he talks about if Tinubu has picked a Christian from the North will not have voted him because it's all about having votes from the North. But I don't want you to respond to that actually. I want you to look at the chances of Atiku Abubakar in this election. What
just 10 years, by the calculation, I don't think the electors are looking at it from that angle. They are looking at it that the since Buhari's tenure will be we finish or will end next year, the president should go to the south. Now, when after 8 years it returns to the north, then it will get to the northwest. There are political elites who are already doing their political permutation in respect to who will become the next governor after a southerner rules in APC. So a lot of northern political elites are looking at it that if Atiku eventually wins and rules for 8 years, the presidency will now go to the south, and it will be after 8 years before it will go back to the north. So by looking at that, they feel no, it's better to support Tinubu to now complete his 8 years. After that, he should go back to the north, in which a group of political elite in the north, whose name I will not mention here, are already doing that permutation because they know that after the 8 years of Tinubu, if he wins, by the time it goes back to the northwest, they will stand better chances of contesting or fighting among themselves who will emerge as the presidential flag bearer of APC at that time. So the way the permutation is going on in the north by northern oligarchy and northern elite, I don't think Atiku will stand a chance to win based on what is going on.
That's very striking. You don't think Atiku will stand a chance to win. So who do you think will win the elections before we go into the campaigns? Is it too early to state?
Well, it is not too early to state who will eventually win the election. Tinubu, a lot of people are undermining Tinubu's ability of emerging victoriously because of the Muslim ticket. But Tinubu is a political strategist. He has been in politics a long time ago. He knows how these political permutations are being done. He understands the politics of Nigeria. He knows how to convince people. He knows how to communicate with people. He knows how to make reconciliation. He knows how to bargain in the political bargain market. And he is doing his thing the way he knows how to do it. And the emergence of Peter Obi has more negative impact on Atiku, not even Tinubu, because majority, 18% of those supporting Peter Obi are PDP members, most of them. I know a lot of people who are PDP now, and they are mostly from the southeast. the stronghold of PDP from the southeast. So Obi's emergence have further reduced Atiku's chance of emerging. So Obi is there to spoil things for Atiku. So with the emergence of Obi, I think Atiku is actually on a very hot seat. Candidates first is that they should avoid campaign that would incite violence. They should avoid campaigns that would make people to turn against one another. They should avoid campaign that would turn to insulting other candidates when they go out for campaigns. They should be issue-based campaigns, telling the electorate what they would do if they win the election and how they will do what they intend to do. And then to the electorate, I have to commend President Muhammadu Buhari for signing the Electoral Act into law and also the National Assembly for making that possible. With the introduction of BVAS and other technologies for the forthcoming election, I think rigging would be minimized in such a way that
Okay, can you
at least
finalize this?
95% of votes will count. So I think everybody should go out there on that day and vote.
Thank you very much. Mr.